Good morning and welcome to Backyard and Beyond. And we're visiting with Patti Bogler up near Harlan. And of course, we're going to talk about gardens and spring and all that kind of good stuff. So, good morning to you, Patti.
Well, good morning, Lavon.
I know working at Greenhouse, you have been working on spring stuff for a long time. When do you get started in your greenhouse? I mean, I know you have to order stuff way ahead, but when do you really start kind of getting in there in the dirt?
I start the greenhouse the middle of February, but I'm actually started before then. In the house, I start lots of seeds under lights. So I've got babies started in January already.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that's the kind of job to be in if you want to really get into growing things in the springtime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're there. But it is a lot of hard work and it takes a lot of attention, doesn't it? Even those babies need attention.
Yes, you need good attention to detail. I liken it to farrowing pigs.
Uh-huh.
Because you just got to be there all the time.
Yeah. Well, maybe you don't have to get up at midnight.
No, not unless the furnace goes off.
Okay, there you go. There you go. And of course, your business is called My Nest. And where is it located, Patti?
We are located 5 miles north of Harlan and a quarter mile west. You take Highway 59 north and go to that 5th mile and take a left, and you're there.
All right. And, of course, we don't have to wait that long to see you because you're going to be at the garden seminar on Saturday the 19th here in Atlantic. And we're looking for lots of folks to come, and I know you're excited about having people come to your class.
I am. I'm going to be doing a workshop on hypertufa. And what hypertufa is, it's a blend of peat, perlite, and concrete mixed with water. And you use that to form a rustic-looking bowl or trough. It's similar and looks to an Old English-style trough.
Mm. Is this something most everybody can do, or does it take a lot of special equipment and lots of strength?
No, anyone can make it. We're going to make just a bowl, so I'm going to show how much material you need to create a hypertufa bowl. And the actual technique is actually pretty simple. Once you see what consistency you need to have your mud, that's half the battle.
Uh-huh.
Not making it too wet or too dry.
And then if you get it, one of those things, it can crack, right? If you get it too wet or too dry?
It just doesn't form as nice.
Okay.
Once you get your slurry mixed to the right consistency, I'll show you how to put it over a form, and we're going to use a bowl because that's the simplest form to start with. And then you need to leave it set for 24 hours before you unmold it. And that is the most fragile time because it seems like when you unmold it, you need to be super careful. That's when you can crack them.
Okay.
Once you get that off the mold, they hold for years and years. I've got one that's 10 years old, and I'm going to bring him along.
Okay. So, but people in this class, when they register for your class, they're going to actually make one of these and take it home.
No.
Okay, I was going to say, this sounds like a little
Yes, I'm actually going to be making one, but I want it to be as interactive as possible to have everybody come up and if they want to get their hand in there and feel what it should be like, so that they can have an idea when they go home to create one themselves.
Okay.
They'll know the groundwork.
Okay. And I know you're going to give lots more details, but I'm thinking, where do you get the supplies? Is that something I need to drive somewhere to get, or would most of these supplies be fairly readily available?
They're fairly readily available. The peat you can buy at any garden center, and perlite also. For the concrete, you can pick that up at your local lumber yard.
Okay.
It's sold in bags.
Okay. So, because that makes it a whole lot easier if we don't have to go too far away.
Yeah.
And it probably is not a very expensive project either.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's one of those Saturday afternoon projects. It's just fun to play with.
And could kids do this?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Actually, kids would have a ball with it because it can be a bit messy.
Very good. So maybe there is somebody thinking about, well, I need a project to do with my grandchild, or perhaps they have a Sunday school class or something that, they could do this with a group of kids.
Oh, and it'd make a great 4-H project, too.
All right, all right. So that's one of the sessions that people can visit with or attend. And are you doing this just once or twice?
I'm just doing this one.
Okay, so they need to sign up, and it is at the first one after lunch. And we just need to remind people that might be interested in coming to the seminar. Now is a good time to get registered because some of the classes do fill up, and they'll have to choose from 4 topics out of about 40, and you'd think, oh, well, that's no problem. But most people go, oh, my gosh, I don't know which ones to do. So
they have a nice assortment
yes,
this year.
Yes, and I think, Patty, even if you don't have a big garden or you're not a big flower person, hey, there's something about containers. There's also something about if you just kind of want to maintain, there's something about trees, like learning how to start pruning, just the very basics of pruning. And there's something about pests. That's, there's always some new stuff out there. So if you just want to do some maintenance, there's topics for you. And then if you just enjoy things, you might want to learn about butterflies. Kathleen Zemer, have you ever heard her?
I have not.
She's a hoot. Let me tell you, if you have a chance to go hear her, and you just enjoy butterflies so much after you hear Kathleen. So just a wide variety to choose from. But, and when we're talking about that, Patty, I want to take time to say the way you register is get a brochure from one of the stores around, or go on the internet and just go to Iowa Western Community College, IWCC Atlantic. Put that in your search, and you can click on it, get your registration form, get the brochure, get everything you need to register. But remember, it's March 19th, and the sooner you register, the more likely you are to get the classes you want. And for $35, you get breakfast, you get lunch, you get lots of booths to look at, and all of the classes. So it's a deal, isn't it, Patty?
That is a great deal. It's a full day of entertainment.
It is. And the plus is you get to visit with all these other people who have similar interests, and you learn something from them too.
I've enjoyed going down to that many years.
Oh, good, good.
So it's just a ball.
Yeah. So I want to learn a little more about you, Patty. How did you get started in this gardening business? When did you get started?
I grew up helping Mother in the garden, and of course I wasn't too fond of that, but, pulling the weeds and all. But about 25 years ago, I got bit by the dried flower bug.
Ah.
And so you cannot find a lot of the plants that you need to use for the dried flowers readily available in the trade. So I started growing my own, and that's what started the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I grew my own flower plants and planted out 200-300 flats of flowers every year.
Oh, wow.
And then it started to transition into more bedding plants, and then it's just been an evolving process.
Uh-huh.
So now, we kind of specialize in flowers and foliage for containers.
Oh, okay. And that's a great way to have some growing things without having to do lots of work, too. You can have them right there by your back door.
Yes.
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 So, in terms of all this involving, are you still doing some dried flower arrangements? Because that's kind of time-consuming.
It is. I'm not. But this year I'm actually growing some statice and some straw flowers again, just because I miss it so much.
Yes. Well, and I love to have those on hand. If you have other flowers, those can always be fillers, and they keep for a while. You just have to have a space to keep them.
And we're going back to more of a natural look again. For a while everything was silk, and now I see a transition back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think more and more people are enjoying those fresh kind of things, both in food and in flowers.
Yeah.
So that's great for the greenhouses, like my nest. Yeah. So do you have some favorites that you plant, kind of just because you like them and you want to have them, besides being business-like?
Oh, I have so many plants and flowers that I like. But I guess as far as favorites go, I got bit by the petunia bug. It's because there are so many new varieties of petunias that are being brought to market now. There's a black one this year, and an orange one, and a papaya color. There's so many petunias out there that I plant quite a few of those.
Mm-hmm. And I love the ones that you no longer have to deadhead and trim and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's about the only kind I grow anymore.
Mm-hmm. Just enjoy.
Yes,
Yes.
you just get to fertilize them and enjoy.
Okay. Well, we want to encourage people, again, to sign up for the garden seminar, which is March 19th in Atlantic. If you have any questions, we haven't given you enough information, give me a call at KGN and I can fill you in. And you'll want to be sure to check out one of the sessions that's right after lunch that's called Hypertuba, Troughs, and Bowls. And that'll be Patti Bogler, who is teaching that.
Sounds like fun.
Okay. Thanks so much, Patti.
Oh, thank you for visiting with me.
You bet. Until next time, here's the thought. Why try to explain miracles to kids when you can just have them plant a seed?